Welcome to episode 41. Hello and welcome. This episode is all about finishing the wiring, getting it tidied up and neatly loomed in preparation for putting the tank on and all that good stuff. Let's go. Right, this is the latest iteration of the wiring diagram. New entries really are the revised indicators, which I've rewired this, as you remember, a few episodes ago, to just be a tail and stop light. And I did the second indicators left and right at the rear. Also drawn up the charge circuit with the resistor, which is here, 47 ohm 10 watt resistor, which is in between the rec and the ignition circuit. It's the ignition circuit that goes to the coil. That's the route that the resistor's on. Still untested, I might add. Also missing from this is that breakout box, which I introduced briefly in an earlier episode. I'm going to do any of that breakout box stuff post MOT and actually probably post my inaugural charity ride, which is in 2 weeks' time, just in case it knackers up my whole plan. So I won't have any of the sort of alerts into the Motorscope Pro. So temperature, oil, neutral, all that will be missing from this. So that's the orange input wire, which currently says not used. I will use that with the Motorscope, or Motor Gadget rather, breakout box, which basically comes off a lot of these wires here and plugs into that, along with additional sensors. Okay, that's the latest on the wiring diagram. Right, time for the famous 40 amp fuse. So it's this one here that goes from the positive terminal of the battery to the main input on the M unit. This is the cable supplied with the M unit. This is my 40 amp fuse setup that I've got. So just need to snip this wire and add some terminations to it. Let's do that. Right, well, I've previously scientifically measured that point there. Oh, God, it's heavy. Point of no return. Okay, I did that with a blowtorch actually, so it wouldn't get hot enough with the soldering iron. There you go. Bit of heat shrink on there. And this is as simple as this. And that just snaps shut. Super. That was about £1 on eBay. So there you go. Inline fuse done. Right, so the plan wiring wise then is to conceal all my cables in like an umbilical, all the ones that go to the battery, in an umbilical into the battery box there like that. So I can kind of hide them, so to speak. Kind of like that. Now, need to cut a hole in this, which is about, I don't know, 20 mil, and they'll sit on there like that. Okay, let's give that a go. Okay, something like that. It needs to be down flat, of course. Oops. That's how I'm going to do it. Looks good. Right, after much buggering about, I've determined that first of all the battery's going to go land on its side. It's going to sit on, if you can see the foam, actually came with the battery, there you go. So it'll sit on some foam pads, keep it horizontal, and I'll pack all this gubbins in here. What I'll also show you is my M-lock. I've got a little one of them 3M sticky pad things. Same things that GoPro use, so they stick like hell, and that's going to stick on the inside of here, on that face there. So that'll be super secure. Will probably never come off ever in its life. Yeah, that's the best way of packing that thing. It is a tight fit. I'll probably shorten these wires. It's a tight fit because I haven't shortened any of this stuff. But that's all going to go in that box there. This I'm getting warm about. I think it's a good system. I will put some heat resistant wrap on that. I've ordered that, it's not arrived yet, just to make sure that this sort of umbilical has a bit of heat protection from the engine, though it should be okay in there. Right then, so really it's just make sure all this gubbins is out of the way of the tank, and then I'll put the tank on. Put the tank on and wire up, God forbid, the fuel supply, the carbs, and my throttle. That's what I'll do. Cool. So I'm going to pop that, oops, on there, like so. Is it on properly? Yes it is. And then that's on, get in minx, that's on there, which is going to go like that with clips. We've kind of got where we want to get to. That's pretty neat, isn't it? I'm liking that a lot. Yeah, liking that a lot. Okay, welcome back to our carburetors, which will go back on the bike. Now one of these leaked like a bugger. Actually, last time it was on the bike, never got to the bottom of that. Maybe I'll find out this time. Let's pop these fellas on. If you remember, I'm going to clean them all up after. There you go. Excellent. Let me just tighten them up. Let's get them nice and tight. Don't want them falling off, do we? No, sir. As we're getting super serious, I'll also put these on, and I'll hide that at the back. There you go. That looks alright. Do the same on the other side. So, this is the throttle cable we had in the demo. In fact, what I'll do, I'll just put that there as a demo of where it's going to go. Yeah, see that? So what I need this to do actually is I need this to not be straight. I need this to be curved so I can bring those over and then route the cables this way. So in the kit that came with these Venhill throttle cables, you may recall from a previous episode, there's a whole bunch of stuff including these elbows. So I'm just going to dismantle this cable, install the elbow, and then it should, well, be better set up anyway for this. Okay, let's do that. Okay, first things first, I'm going to take off the little nudger that's that we had. If you recall, that was a temporary one that we put onto the land to test the throttles out last time. So I'll put that somewhere safe. This is the adjustment component of the original carbs, which I'm reusing. And then I just want to go to the end of the cable. Says my front end adjustments on the wire. So let me just pull this out. So basically I want that in there, like that. And then that in there like that, and I think that's too big. But there are some spare ones in the kit. So let me just take that off. Let me just put this one on. Come on, little wire. There you go. So there you go. And then that's a narrow one, isn't it? So that one now, whoop, fits on. Like so. And that is my angle, which is good. So now I can thread this back onto the cable, and we've got our wire sorted. Right, let's put that in the bars. So that one's going to go that way, into there, and that one's going to go that way. Into there. So what I've done, I've marked here with some tape where that cable needs to terminate. So what I'm going to do now is undo this little tab, take all this off, cut the cable down, reinstall it, and then I'll shorten the inner cable. Super good. We are just going to trim this cable to size, and we'll do that this way. So first of all, we'll just loosen that. We'll rotate the carb so we can see what we're up to. We will, oops, get a bit of slack on that. We will put that adjuster down, probably a bit more than halfway, had I said. Okay. And I'll take this off. So thread that halfway through. I say halfway through, I mean almost all the way through. Oh, do it by hand. So that's just, see that, just peeking through. Okay. That then will fit in the ocky, like so. Then, if I can turn that a bit, you undo that a bit, and that should push through, like so. Okay, and then we can put that more where it's going to go. Make sure that's all in its place. Yes, it is. And then tighten that up properly. And then we can lose this excess cable. Oh, rubbish cut that, wasn't it? There you go. And then if I try my throttle works okay, and I can pop that back to its natural angle. So that is the throttle cables reattached. Right, clutch cable time. This is my original clutch cable. A couple of features on it of importance. First of all, the clutch lever end is that fitting, which is sadly incompatible with my clutch lever. If it was that end, I might be in a bit of luck. Yeah, but it's not. So that's the first thing. Secondly, there's this bit here which passes through a retainer on the bike. That's the clutch arm end. So I've got to work out a way of replicating that, because that's part of the clutch cable itself. Okay, here is my clutch cable kit from these boys, or girls, might be girls. It contains a load of very strong steel cable, some flexible hollow cable, and a bag of bits. Okay. So, some important things to note. First thing I'll note is that the end of that cable is somewhat smaller than the end of that one. If you can see that, which I'm guessing is what these sleeves are for. So a little plastic sleeve goes over it, that might do the trick. In terms of the other end, we've got so I'm guessing that that goes over the cable and is soldered into place. Let me re-say that. I think that goes over there and that goes over the cable and is soldered into place, and then that sits up there like that. I think that's how it happens. That will be a similar setup there for this, if you see that. I'll zoom that in. Okay. So I think that is the kind of setup I'm doing. Okay, don't lose those bits. Other things to note, I think this is what's in place of that thing there. Let's try it on the bike, and let's have a look at the bike and see how this is kind of going to fit together. Starting with attaching my clutch lever. I think it's broadly that. I'll feed the cable up this route here. This is just the outer cable for now, of course. Into there. And I'll freehand this bit. So, cable there, routed down that gap. Yeah, here. Along there. Now then. Okay, this here is the cable pass through. See if I just route that through there, like so. And then I can, so that's kind of go like that, yeah? That's roughly where the cable's going to go. And through to there. So this is where I'm going to cut the outer cable, right there. Moment of truth time. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to put this thing in that retainer. Okay, so let's pop that through there. Bloody thing. And then nut on the end. Can't do it with hold the camera as well, so just trust me to put the nut on the end. Okay, now let's put this little end cap on the end, on the end of here, just to tidy up that. You said and done. Okay. So there are my two terminations. They look pretty good. So this end is for the clutch lever, and this end goes in that thing we just put in the bike. So I can put that in place now, actually. Okay, so I've run the cable down the side of the frame, pop that into there for now. Okay, then this end of the cable just slots in there like so. Right, this end I've threaded on this little clip, like so, and that will sit in the lever, and then the other end I can thread down here, so in here and out the other end. Okay, and just pop this into the there. Right, so here's the order of stuff. So cable with the end I put on here, that spacer thing, then that arrangement there. So my job now is to what's called bird cage the end of that, so that's a little bit fatter so it won't pull through, and then dip that in a bath of hot solder. So let me just do a bit of that. I'll use a centre punch to try and spread them out, like so. Right then, solder time. Right, let me show you what I've got here. This is the end of a copper pipe. I'm going to put them in a little holder like that. We're going to heat that up. That's a blob of solder. Might need some more. So I'm going to heat that up and then dip my end in, so to speak. So in preparation, I'm going to dip the my bird cage stuff into some flux. So that is going nowhere. Good. Okay, so fitting it back onto the bike, we will pass the cable through a little slot there, that through there, come on, and then attach that nut there. Actually, new entry, this rubber thing will actually go over that. So let me just put that on. Feed the cable this end up the bike. Right then. The moment of truth. Right then, I have a confession to make. We have an issue. So when I was packing away my electrical cables in that battery box, I inadvertently hit the live with this bit of wire here, and wow, it burnt the whole bloody cable. Look at that. So it's burnt the cable first of all, burnt the grey one, but it's clearly gone right back up, and it's burnt this black one as well. You can see that. And in fact, as I've opened this cable up, it's melted it all together right up here. So I'm guessing that I've goosed this reg rec. Okay, that's the first thing I'm guessing. Second thing I'm guessing is I've done some harm to my M unit. Look at this.
M ride ready. Overload at output ignition.
Right, so I think I made a step backwards there. In terms of what I can do, I've mailed Motor Gadget's helpline. Not sure how fast they are, given I've got a week to go before I want it's finished. In the meantime, I'm going to crack on with non-electrical stuff. So let's do all that. In the meantime, if any of you experts out there have any ideas of what might have happened, B, how to fix it, I'll be grateful to hear from you. Thank you. Well, there you go. It can't be good news all the time, eh? Shit happens. So, just so you know what went on, I hit the starter button, the starter motor turns, that's all fine, but there's no spark to the spark plugs. So that ignition circuit, something definitely unhappy with that, or ignition output rather, on the M unit, something unhappy with that. So if you've got any helpful comments, please put them in the comment section. That would be wonderful. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Click the bell for alerts and the stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.